Hey everybody, welcome back to Chart Request Live. My name is Patrick Dunawilla. I am the editor of the Chart Report and I'll be your host today. Joining me today is none other than Alfonso de Pablos. Alfonso, how you doing?
Hey Pat, everything good? Everything good? How are you?
Doing well, doing well. What do you think of the market action so far?
It's been messy a little bit to the downside, some selling pressure in the past few weeks and months. Technology leading the way down, semiconductors on the brink of completing, topping patterns on absolute basis and on a relative basis. So that stands out to me. So here, I think we're seeing SMH right there at the lower bounds of a massive top information.
Yep,
This
testing
level
those
is
August
huge.
5th lows from the yen blow up
Mhm.
day. Yep.
This is a big one. If we see the ETF SOXX, it's breaking down today. So technology continues to struggle. Here is XLK on a relative basis. A lot of top formations in technology, to be honest.
Yeah, and,
So
and
here,
if I like looking at my ratio charts and line charts too, but go back to the candles on that. I mean, it's just
on this
been
one.
Yeah, it's just been a steady downpour lower.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
I mean,
gap and go, gap and go, gap and go.
look, XLK. I mean, technology. It represents 30% on the S&P 500, so it's huge. So that's what it drives the S&P and major indexes in the United States. So if technology is struggling, if semiconductors are, threatening to breaking down of these type of patterns, expect U.S. equities to struggle at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you didn't even mention consumer discretionary, right? I mean, that's another sector that's
That's
just been
true. Yeah.
absolutely killed. And here we are retesting those lows.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
vital risk on sector.
Yeah, we're right here. We're testing the lows from May. The most important level for me in XLY is the prior cycle highs from 2021. We definitely breached this level. So if we want, I mean, if buyers and the bulls wants to reassert control and regain some control, I think they need and they must reclaim the 2021 highs around 215 on
I agree with
XLY.
you. I agree with you. I like that read. But let's dive right into the mailbag here. We got quite a few. Let's kick it off with Broadcom,
Oh,
AVGO.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
on the topic of semis, right?
Yep, yep, I like it. So yeah, like the first thing I see here, I'm not a big fans of trend lines, to be honest. I prefer horizontal lines. But this is a big one for me. The trend is changing here. We feel that gap back in January, and we're now rolling over, making new lows. It doesn't look good to be honest. And this one is a big stock. It's a almost like a bellwether on the space. It definitely.
You and Steve had a good put trade on this one, right?
Steve has, but yeah, but we have been seeing a lot of damage a lot of damage in semiconductors, the ETFs. So this one recently broken down from this key support level. It's reaching you know oversold ratings for the first time in what, almost 3 years now. So you know the tape is changing for in my opinion.
Yeah, and sixth consecutive day lower. One more would be the longest losing streak since 2023.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's huge.
Yeah, so just a steady drip lower there. Any potential support you're seeing there?
Support level, let's, yeah, I mean, maybe here, maybe around 145. We're in the middle of this range. For me, if buyers can reclaim 187, the shelf former highs from last year. I think that could be very constructive. But until then, we're in the middle of this range. I think a potential support level could be around 145. So we're right there. We are right there.
Let's move on here to Reddit, RDDT. This one went public about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should drop a VWAP right from that IPO because it's breaking down from that VWAP today.
Wow, I mean, it's so clean, this level. Yeah, so let's call it 106. That's the level. That's the level.
It's trying to reclaim it. What do you think? I mean, not the worst. If it gets that done today and it can reclaim that VWAP, you got a bullish momentum divergence. There's a chance.
Yeah, there is a chance. Definitely, if we're above 106, I give the bulls the benefit of doubt, of course, and they remain in control. But below 106, I think we can see, this gap from October to get filled, I think.
Yeah, and that goes all the way down to 83-ish. So
yeah, so this chart it's beautiful because the line in the sand is so clear, and it makes it, easier for us to define risk and identify a risk level. So everything depends on 106. That's the level. Yeah. That's the big up from the IPO. So that's a big confluence of support at this moment.
Yeah, I like how you said that. I mean, the market validated that level for 2 weeks, and here we are.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It, so gotta respect it. And actually, on that one, he asked if the stock bounces, where would you take profits on that one? So if you do get this bounce, where would you be looking to be a seller?
That's a good question. Wait.
Funds, I think that 150 level is probably a decent spot because you have the VWAP from the peak, you have a little gap on the daily chart, you got it's kind of the neckline of that kind of distributive top there.
Yeah.
Nice round number.
Yeah, I think I will take profits on the VWAP from the all-time highs, to be honest. I think this is a good range, and a confirmation of that, change in trend could be if it reclaims the VWAP from the all-time highs. That would be super, super bullish. But first, stop it going down, reclaim this key support level and this VWAP from the IPO, and then we can start talking if we get a bounce, the magnitude of that bounce. But the key level to watch, definitely 106.
Yeah, well said. This one's from Hanson, 3-month time frame. He's looking at HWM.
Let's see.
Howmet Aerospace. What is this?
Nice. I mean, aerospace and defense are looking so good right now. I mean, if you look,
ETF too.
Yeah, if you look at the ETF, it's looking very constructive. It's struggling here at a logical level of potential resistance below the 161 extension in a tight range. So it's been very resilient lately. And back to the stock HWM. Just look at this uptrend. So strong. I will draw a Fibonacci extension here from the 2020 peak to the bottom in 2020. I think a potential support area is around 112. I think at the 423% extension, I think that's a logical level of support. What do you think on this one?
This one has been such a beast. My gosh.
Yeah, it's looking so strong. Very resilient name, relative strength. So any consolidation above 112, I think that would make sense. We're seeing that already. So any pullback to this area, I think could be a good opportunity to step in. It will make sense. But below 112, definitely I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, good plan. Let's move on to Jabel, Jabel,
Okay.
JBL.
Oh, JBL.
Yeah,
Let's see. Yeah, I
the
mean,
messy one.
yeah, it's a little bit messy. So the first thing I do here is to zoom out a little bit, um, to understand and identify the primary trend. Back in 2023, we broke out of this monster base, like a 23-year base. A new uptrend is definitely underway. So when we zoom in a little bit, we're
And by the way,
struggling.
his time frame is about 3 months on this one.
3 months?
That's
No, that's perfect. That's perfect because now what we're doing is zooming in and trying to identify risk levels, to adapt this time frame. So for me, you know, it tried to break out of this smaller base from 2024. It pulled back and then it's back into the box. So from the long side, I mean, I don't like it until we reclaim 150, 156. I will say so, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's just messy, and those fail breakouts can be nasty, and especially when you zoomed out, looking where that fail breakout came from, it had a nice run, and it just couldn't make good on this short-term base here, and I think you got to be cautious, especially where, yeah, right there. If that VWAP doesn't hold,
But
you're
how about
probably
that
gonna-
VWAP, right? How
yeah,
about that VWAP? Price is holding. It's not breaking down below this VWAP from the August lows from last year. So that's a huge one. So
yeah.
that's a huge one. I mean, if you want to give it a shot, I think you can define risk at this VWAP. But other than that, it's messy for me, to be honest.
Yeah, messy one for sure.
Yeah.
Next one we got here, Imperial Oil, IMO.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, crude oil up nicely today, 3%.
Yeah, I mean, energy is the best performing sector so far this year. Nobody's talking about this. We're seeing that kind of rotation into energies, and into energy stocks are doing great. Crude oil is not breaking down. Let's put the chart of crude oil first. This is a huge one. Wow, look at this candle today.
Yeah.
It's up 3%. And the most important thing about energy is that it never broke down. This level around 64, 65 held. Now it's bouncing again. I mean, how strong and yeah, strong this bound is. I mean, we don't know, but right now this key level of support from previous years, I mean, from 2021, 2023, even 2024 is holding. Right now, crude oil is reclaiming this VWAP from the January highs. So that's very constructive. I think higher prices we could see higher prices definitely.
And actually, if you draw a VWAP from the day crude oil went negative, it's right there. It's right there today.
Here, let me change the scale here. Wow.
Yep.
Nice. Let me see. Wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
Right
It's
there.
a huge one. Yeah. I like it. That's a good catch, Pat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, above there, party's on, right?
Yeah, definitely yes. At
It's on for
least
crude oil.
over 78, at least 80. Yeah. I like it. So back to Imperial Oil. Let me zoom out because this one has a huge base.
And
This
time frame 6 to 12 months.
6 to 12 months. Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, energy stocks has been coiling right below resistance, but in the case of Imperial Oil, it's coiling above the prior cycle highs from 2008, above prior resistance level. It's showing resilience in my opinion. So for me, the line in the sand is 63. Let's call it 63. If we zoom in a little bit and we want to play it more tactical, let's see if we draw a VWAP from here, but it's messy. So I don't know. I mean, for me, about 63, it's a long, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd like to see it above that 74 level, just because it has that kind of head and shoulders type look right above resistance.
Right.
And if you can take out that right shoulder around 74 there, then that would tell me that would invalidate that top.
Okay.
And that's just,
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you're doing here. I definitely agree with you. That could be like a confirmation that the next higher could be underway or on the verge of happening, right? So yeah, I like it. Yeah.
All right, good stuff. So that is it for the mailbag here. So go ahead and drop your tickers in the chat. This one comes from Wavy. We got HMY.
Which one?
HMY.
This one, yeah.
Harmony Gold, yeah.
Wow, I mean, yeah, another area that has been, shining lately. It's gold, making new
ultimate highs. Like 12 or I mean, this is probably I think the 13th week in a row it's been up out of.
Wow, it's
had one negative week in the last 13 weeks.
Yeah, right here in February, late February. But gold continued to look strong. We're right there. We're approaching the 261 extension level around 3,300. That's the level. I think that could be a potential area of digestion for gold. But it's looking good. It's looking strong. Silver, it's trying to playing catch up, right?
Yeah, in a big way. That was a big week for it last week.
Yeah, ideally we would like to see silver to catch up and join and confirm the new highs for gold, right?
Yeah.
Would you consider? Yeah, how weight you give silver in this trade, for example?
Say that again.
I mean, how much weight do you give silver? Like silver participating alongside with gold.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it really decisively get above that kind of shelf of resistance from 2012 there, right around 35, 36.
Right.
If it's above that 35, 36 level, I think you got to be looking at those all-time highs, and that's around what, like 48, something like that.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it's time for silver, to be honest.
Yeah, and you're finally seeing the miners work too. Like if you look at GDX, I mean that's finally getting it done. It's failed so many times that seeing it actually stick the landing this time.
This is such a good base, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's such a good base, and if the miners are starting to work and break out of this monster base, this one can go, very, very wild at the end.
Yeah. So you're saying early innings for gold miners still, or?
I mean, I don't think it's early innings, to be honest. Based on what gold has doing lately and has done in the past year, I think they're lagging a little bit. But definitely, if we break out above 46 in GDX, that's a fresh breakout. And I think we could see some participation underneath the surface on gold miners.
So back to that HMY. What do you think of that one?
I mean, it's looking good. It's trading at the highest levels in, almost 13 years. So that's huge. We're approaching this big area of resistance. I will say that around between 14.5 and 16.5. I will say so. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of digestion and consolidation around this area before we eventually break out of this monster base.
Yeah.
So
that 15 levels around those 2011 highs.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, pretty logical area of resistance. And then right above that, you got all that slop from 2002 to 2008
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. It's a big area of of resistance that we're approaching right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some consolidation around this zone first, and then we can break out of this monster
Yeah.
bay, because at the end of the day, it's a big base.
Yeah, I will say for this one, if it ever gets above those all-time high, if it ever gets to all-time highs, and that's like around
Yeah,
19,
19.
um,
Yeah, it's called
then
19.
this thing could get serious, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this one can go 29 first potential target, even when we break out of about 19. So we're not there right now, but eventually I think we can see a breakout above this area.
Well, Fonz, we don't have any more tickers in the chat here, so be sure if you guys are watching, go ahead and drop some tickers in. But I'm going to cut back to the mailbag here. We got one. Rondo is asking about UNUM. I
Oh,
think the
that's
ticker is UNM, I think.
wow. I mean,
Uh,
this one has
so,
to be
so this
probably
one,
the
she
favorite.
she she asked specifically about the gigantic volume spike from a couple week from was it 2 weeks ago? Um, on Friday, March 21st, there's that big volume spike. She's asking what could that mean, if anything?
Right here. Mm, I'm not an expert in volume, to be honest.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of noise with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of not of volume, to be honest. I don't look at volume at all. But what I can tell you is that, let me remove this. The stock, it's looking very good. It broke out of a monster base, like from 1998 to October 2024. We recently break out. So if we zoom out enough, we're in the early stages of a new uptrend on this one. So any pullback towards 62, 60, let's call it 60 if you want, I think it's an opportunity to step in and get involved because of the magnitude of this base. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it is holding up very well here, and even like RSI on the daily, just really resilient there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, it's hard to bet against that one when it's so close to all-time highs. Momentum's
Yeah, I
holding up,
think,
not really giving you too much of a reason. I mean, you could say this is a divergence here, but RSI is still in a really bullish regime. It's nowhere near oversold there.
yeah. At the end of the day, the divergence needs to be confirmed by price, right? So until we see,
Right, and they can go on for months, years, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, just look at this divergence here. It's been for a while, but the price is still going up. Maybe not at the same pace as in November and December of last year, but it's holding above the VWAP from the election. I think that was a very important date for most stocks last year. So, like a tactical level, let's call it 76, and a more a structural level for a longer term position. Let's call it 60. That it's the former high from 1998.
Yeah. We got one more here from Mara.
Yeah, let's do it. Which one?
Mara, the crypto.
Oh, Mara. Okay. So, what do you think about the Bitcoin right now? I mean, at the end,
I mean, I'm letting it dance a little bit. I mean, it's holding that uptrend line from the FTX bottom there. So you got that going for it, but it's certainly under pressure here. I wouldn't be surprised to see it retest um, those, mid-March lows around 70, the high 70s there.
This one, like here, you mean?
Yeah.
So what would I mean, what should happen for you to, to enter or put money to work on Bitcoin?
For this one, I'd like to see it or take out the former neckline there right around 91, 92.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And for confirmation of that breakout, because I think, a move like that is susceptible to whipsaws, I would look to the VWAP from the peak, which is right around 92 as well.
Nice.
So getting above the neckline, getting above that VWAP, which are right around 92, that would get me back in and be a convincing entry point.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. For me, I mean, we're in no man's land right now. We broke down around the 91, 90 level. I think that's the big level I love. You're adding the big from the all-time highs for more conviction and a confirmation at this level. It coincides. So this one is 91 until we don't see like 91, 92. I think there's nothing to do with Bitcoin. Maybe we can expect a Bitcoin to roll over to 73, 70. This level represent also the prior cycle high from 2021. So this is a big level. So, right now we're in the middle of the range. And regarding tomorrow, not looking good. Miner sucks right now. Not strong at all.
Oh, yeah.
It's breaking down of this type of information. So, I mean, if you want to give a shot, I mean, above 14 and a half, let's say. But I'm not a big fan of the miners right now, to be honest.
I would agree. Well, we got Stan in the chat asking about one that I think you will like, and I know you're familiar with this one, CRK.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's see. Beautiful stock. So I got this price action lately. I think the VWAP from the ultimate highs is right there. This is probably the favorite one, to be honest. Big level of resistance. Showed from our highs from 2022. This peak right here in 2015, the big one from the all-time highs right here. So this is a confluence of resistance. Any breakout above 22, I mean, it will push prices higher on a fresh higher. That's for sure.
I think it's worth mentioning that this one did fail already, and you didn't get much downside reaction from it. I mean, it did break those highs from 2022. It did kind of get above it. I don't know if you want to call it a failed move. That might be too much, but it did get rejected, and instead of going all the way down and ruining that base, it just built another one right near those former highs there. I think this one is very constructive. Yeah, I
like it. I mean, it's coiling in a nice way, below resistance, below the VWAP from all-time highs, and the risk is very well defined. We're talking about the rounding bottom formation and a structural trend reversal. These formations and the sizes of these bases takes time to resolve higher. So any breakout above 22, it's game on, definitely.
Yeah. So we got some more requests coming in here. This POET, that one looks like it's a little too small for us to take a look at here. We try to look at just things over $1 billion in market cap. I don't know if you want to bring it up real quick. POET.
What's the market cap? There's one almost 300 million.
Tiny, yeah, 300.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit. We can.
Let's look at LAMR here from Dante.
Which one?
LAMR.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Russell, to be honest. Like exactly like the Russell. Like it failed. It failed to break out of this
What would
bait.
you like to see, for a sign of repair?
Well, first of all, I will say the first step for this stock is to stop going down. I think it already did. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. It's coiling in a pennant, in a bearish formation here. So a confirmation that it stopped going down is if it's reclaimed that VWAP from the 2023 low. To be honest,
Yeah, and those consolidations, they should resolve in the direction of the underlying trend, which in this case we got down move into it, so it should resolve lower. If it doesn't, that's bullish.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very clear for me. 116 for the bulls, 110 for the bears. If we
Makes
break
sense.
down, we will complete this pennant formation right here. We will also break down this key support level from 2024 around 110, and I think we can fall apart, to be honest, if we break down below 110.
Yeah.
So the first step for the bulls to repair the damage here, it's to just reclaim the VWAP and don't resolve this bearish pattern to the downside instead to the upside, right? And then ideally I would like to see these former highs from 2021 to be reclaimed. The VWAP from the Ultima highs also coincides here, so that's a big level, right? But the first step is stop going down, don't resolve lower, reclaim the VWAP, and then we will see.
Yeah. So we got, let's hit one more here. We got Amazon in the chat.
Whoa, nice.
Right there. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. And we're talking about the most important retailer in the world, the largest component.
You think we fill this gap at some point this week?
Which one?
I mean, we got a gap on the weekly chart right now. Gap lower.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. Today's candle, even though that we're down to 2%, it's a little bit constructive. It's not, closing below this former highs and this key support level, right? I think 190 is the big level. The buyers needs to step in right here, right now, to stop this damage at the end.
Yeah, I mean 190 was support for the last couple weeks here. I couldn't agree with that more.
Yeah, so let's see if we drop a bit from the X lows. We're below, very well below, and look how price was here, coiling in a bear flag. It tried to resolve higher, and then boom, back into this range, and falling apart in the past few sessions. So the buyers definitely need to step in here and defend this level.
Yeah, a lot of those mega caps have been flagging to the downside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think the best example is the MEX ETF, right?
Yeah.
We're solving lower today with a gap. So buyers needs to reclaim at least these former lows from mid-March, early March.
Well, Franz, let's take a look at EQX, and then we'll wrap it up here.
EQX,
Equinix
Gold.
name.
I like it. I mean, they're looking good. It's a little, it's similar to CRK, because we're talking about a classic trend reversal formation, right? Where we're seeing bearish trend here, consolidation here, and now we're breaking out above the upper bounds of this range. So as long as we're above this, as long as we're above what, six and a half, let's call it six. I think the bias is higher and the path of least resistance is definitely higher.
Yeah, I like seeing that VWAP curl up there too, right underneath.
Yeah, yeah, it's looking good. The 38% retracement from this decline, it coincides with the areas that we're talking about. I think if we're above 660, 650, I think the path of least resistance is towards 930.
Makes sense to me. Well, Fonz, before we hop here, what was your favorite one we looked at today? I think I have a feeling what it is, but
I mean, I will have to say Amazon because of the
really,
importance.
okay.
Yeah,
I thought you would say CRK.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like CRK, but Amazon, it's a big one. It's a big one. It's the most important retailer in the world. It's one of the most important stocks in the planet. It's a risk on stock. So if we lose Amazon, I think things could get ugly, to be honest.
Yeah.
So this one is my favorite. It's in a key level. The risk is very well defined. So that's for sure. How about you?
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I mean, if we lose that level, I think that makes a lot of sense. If we lose that level in Amazon, it could get ugly. It's a big weight in the consumer discretionary sector along with Tesla, and Tesla isn't doing us much favors right now. So, if this one can stick the landing, that'd be great. If it doesn't, that's a fail breakout, and that's nasty. That could turn out to what Tesla was, right? I mean, Tesla
Yeah.
started as a failed breakout at that 400 level. This
Mhm.
could, I'm not saying it will, it has the potential to turn into a nasty failed breakout.
Yeah, no, I mean, very, very well said. Very well
But as
said.
far as mine, I still like that CRK. Been long since January, and
Oh, no.
it's holding up nicely. Hasn't really broken out yet, but it's doing all the right things, holding up
It's
nicely.
doing yeah, exactly. It's doing the right things. I think eventually it will resolve higher and complete this monster trend reversal formation. And the upside potential here, it's huge.
Yeah.
This one is huge. So any breakout above 22, just watch.
Yep. And checking on short interest here, 7.6%. Nothing to write home about, but not terrible either. I mean, the fact that we're
Yeah,
at
exactly. Yeah,
multi-year
it's
highs
like,
here can't
yeah,
be comfortable for those shorts, especially with crude oil doing what it's doing today.
that one is, yeah.
Although this one's nat gas, I believe, right?
Yeah, but energy in general, I will say, right?
Right, the entire energy complex working.
Yeah.
All right, well, Fonz, thank you so much. And also, thank you so much for our listeners. If we didn't get to your ticker, be sure to email us at questions@stockmarketmedia.com, and we will get to them on Thursday. Thanks.
Thank you very much.